Well, what have we got today? Especially for Stuart, we've got a World Sound PT40. Now, these come in other guises. They've all got slight differences. Some have PA, some don't have PA. What's this one got? Not got PA. That's a rusty back. And I would say the best one of them all is the Low TX40, and we'll be working from the service manual for that. There's the Viper 88, there's the Smoky Bear PT40, there's the Braemar PT40, there's the Grandstand Hawk, and I've no doubt there's a pile of others. Oh, the Sun 402. I've got a photocopy here of the original instruction book, and I've just got to read you this extract. This is made in Taiwan, and this has got to be the best translation ever. This is brilliant. The Delta tune. What would we say the Delta tune does? Shifts the frequency on receive slightly, either positive or negative, in case the other end of the person you're talking to is slightly off frequency. Okay. Delta tune number 4. The frequency of the CB transmitter made by PLL, as in phase lock loop, will be always exactly precise under any condition. However, in order to receive the frequency which shifts from the requalative frequency due to the phase chang caused by the long-distance communication moisture and etc., Delta tune can always let you get the best condition of transmitting and receiving. And that is fantastic Taiwanese poor translation gobbledygook onto the radio. It comes with a power lead. I better put a fuse holder in that. At least it's anchored properly. I've made up a mic, although we've run out of mics and I'm still waiting for them from the wholesaler. I pinched one off one of the other engineer's benches. Haha. So when he comes in, the mic he made up is now mine. Right. What I noticed about this is a set we've bought in for these demonstration purposes. It's not a commercial repair. This is one we've bought in. And what I've spotted about this, as we've got it off eBay, it's been painted, and I will just spray it over once again. But what is good is that the front is on the tatty side. But in actual fact, this is the plastic still covering, you know, like when you buy a new car and it got the plastic on the seats. This is the plastic covering the front panel. And I'm going to pull that off and clean it up, and we've got a brand new front panel on a 30-year-old set. Ha ha ha, how impressive is that? Right, we'll open it up. Now, of course, it goes without saying that the radio is slightly different from the manual I'm working to the Low TX40, and the layout's different. So it's going to be, I can't show you the VCO because the VCO would need to be at the junction of resistor 8 and capacitor 26. Well, this set's different. So as long as it's in lock, we're not going to mess with that. Clearly, however, that's going to be VCO if it was out of lock, but I'd have to work out some instructions if I got one which did that. We're supposed to be adjusting L5, L6, L11 and L12, and I presume that's 5, but I'm guessing that's going to be 6. 8, 11, and presumably that's 12. It's a bit of guesswork. Right, we're on the high power position, and the radio is doing 2 watts. No, it's not. It's doing 0.6 of a watt. At least if I upset anything, I can of course put it back right. I'd have thought that was 6. It's not giving me any difference there. Ah, that's the peak. Just to melt the wax in there. Just melt the wax in there a bit more. That's it. Okay. Of course, there could be something wrong with this. Okay, well, that's 1 watt, so something's not right. Okay, I sorted that problem out. It was twofold. The reason it was only doing 1 watt. Although the soldered joint to the antenna connector looks absolutely fine, I sucked the solder off and then I've redone that. I then also discovered that there's a ceramic capacitor which should be connected to there between chassis and I've resoldered that. Just done a quick retune which involved what I believe to be 8, 11 and 12. It went up to 5.5 watts and I've dropped it back down to 4. And I've used that to drop it back down, as I understand that's the correct one. In fact, it just needs to come up a fraction now. I've been over generous on my attenuations. There we go. Right, so we've got full power back on that. So, have we got, when we press transmit, have we got a full 4 watts coming out according to this meter? No, because the meter's not doing anything at all. VR1 is the meter preset, and that's there at the back. So we'll just see whether that's going to do anything. I'll just clean that just in case. Obviously this has been played with. I can't get anything out of that. What I will just check is the meter working, and I'll do that by quickly going into receive and just seeing whether we can get to deflection on the meter. Okay, the meter is working alright in receive, so I'll now look into this preset. It may well be broken. Okay, that's sorted the meter problem out. Although I tried cleaning the preset with it in situ, I unsoldered it, took it out, metered it. It's actually a rheostat, not a potentiometer, so it only has 2 connections between track and the wiper. So it would be quite difficult to replace, because I would have to have put a rheostat in, a potentiometer in, on 2 wires on a little stalk. So it would have been a little bodge looking, even if that had done the trick. But I've cleaned it more thoroughly out of the set, metered it, and that is now working properly. So that's another fault sorted. That's 2 faults sorted so far. I say it was only doing 0.5 of a watt when it came in, and then the meter wasn't working, so we've done that. Now what we need to just do is to make sure it's on frequency. Now it should be 2779125 on channel 20. It's 2779198, and it's actually VR9 for the frequency, and VR9 should be that one just there. Now I can't get that to come down as low as I would like, so what I'm now going to do is adjust the crystal trimmer. This has been well screwdrivered. It will just go 27,79124, and then I'll just bring it back up a fraction with that trimmer. That's so the delta tune works properly. There we go. So that's set. Ideally I should put a frequency counter onto test point 1 and adjust the CT2 for what? 10.24046. And then I've suddenly remembered why we haven't gone for test point 1 in the first place. That's because the service manual differs from the set that's in front of me. Right, we'll assume that's correct, and I'm sure it will be. I'm going to check it with I'm going to check receivers on frequency with it having this delta tune circuit with the marker oscillator when we get onto the receiver. So I'm now satisfied it's transmitting at 4 watts. It's doing 27,79126, which is ideal. Low power is our next port of call, and it's doing 0.6 of a watt on low power. Okay, well I can't prove that that is the low power control. I just thought it was on these. So we'll let that go for now, that it's doing 0.5 of a watt instead of 0.4 of a watt. Now we'll set the deviation. Right, I'll switch the other camera on. We're on the right hand oscilloscope, get the little oscillator on. And it's variable resistor 4. And that should be the one under the wiring just there. Yep, that's something that works. That's now set for 2.5. Now we'll just do the whistle test. That's not enough on this set. Wallow. That's too much on the wallow test. Wallow. Wallow. There we go. So apart from the fact we haven't been able to set the attenuator, for whatever reason that is, that's now set up on transmit. So we're left with 2 presets. One's going to be squelch, and the other's going to be the meter for the S meter. So it's quite possible that on this particular version there isn't a preset for the low power. Now I can see a resistor down here which looks like it's to do with the low power circuit, and on my circuit diagram there would be another variable resistor around there. Well, there isn't on this, so there we go. So it's as near as we can is to use the low TX40 manual, and it's certainly better than nothing by a long way, especially when it shows us how to do that delta tune circuit. So there we have it, the World Sound PT40 so far, and I'll do the second video on the receiver.